most recent game in solo queue and an old pick for him. So I think the Olaf would fit this draft perfect. I'd love to see Olaf from the side of KSV, but it's only a single game for Ambition. They're going to think about the Sejuani. That will continue to play, and they'll just lock it in. Ambition seems to not be confident enough to jump on the Olaf for this game.
Unfortunate. Wanted to cast a game of Olaf. I'm going to have to wait a little bit, as even the Ornn does get locked in. So, big beefy front line for the side of KSV.
Whoa, okay.
And what the hell?
We got a Swain. Swain top lane from ADD's found something he likes.
ADD.
All right, first Swain in Korea. Patch 8.3, even before there's extra buffs on this champion. That's fun to see. The Force Lightning going to be coming in, some Star Wars going on. I hope you're ready for this. Not a lot of Swain in solo queue, so we're getting some Swain on the Rift.
Yeah, this is going to be fun, and leave it up to ADD. Even when they really want to avoid relegation, they want to get through, he still goes ahead and picks a totally new pick. Haven't seen it yet, the newly reworked Swain. And it's going to be up against Ornn, which is kind of interesting. It's into that tank matchup. So I want to see how it does overall in this game, because a lot of people have said that it's not good. Just leave it, wait until it gets buffed. But ADD says, no, I'm ready to go right now.
It's a lot with a lot of CC coming through from the Leona as well. So a lot of synergy with the passive there for the Swain. We're definitely going to have to keep our wits around him. I've seen very little Swain only have a basic understanding of his abilities. You can remember, though, the Swain has always been dominant into melee matchups in the top side. So it seems like, at worst, a farm lane for the Swain in top.
I'm looking forward to it. Definitely adds a bit of flavor to this matchup where it's, you know, world champion versus 9th place. But now it's like, okay, we get to see Swain in the matchup up against the Ornn. As ADD2 known for his weird picks, he and Max alone trying to change the meta here in Korea.
ADD, he was on the forefront for the Scion. I'm not a big fan of the Swain at this power level right now, but it's something different. It's in a nice spot, but guys, it sounds like we're gonna have a little pause before we actually get to the game. Get ourselves ready for some Swain action.
Yeah, KSV looking not happy with the pause, but we'll get into it eventually. I'm sure you guys out there are pretty excited about the pick. Seems like SpoTV is as well. The big zoom in on ADD. He's like, oh, I didn't mean to pick Swain. Nah, looks like just a headset issue for our top laner of MVP.
He needs his headset going. The Swain is definitely gankable, but very dominant into melee matchups. I would argue a little bit less than before because he doesn't have the targeted abilities that made him so reliable in previous seasons, but still can be very oppressive in a team fight. Has synergy with the Leona as well, so a lot to like about the Swain. I think when the buffs come through in the future and the items load up for him, he will certainly be a fringe meta pick, but feels like we're cheating a little bit by having him in 8.3.
So guys, that game be something in the lane first.
The reason why I'm such a skeptic of Swain with his current kit, unless the numbers are really buffed up, is that I feel like he doesn't do what he was originally picked for. And to be fair, he was never picked, but at least in solo queue, what he was picked for was to dominate melee champions. He was very strong against melee champions on the top side. And it feels like he does that worse than his previous kit. He has a lot of interesting gimmicks, his ability to have obscenely long range on his W to check brush and also get a situational slow. He has a lot of CC on his kit and goes the Glacial Augment. Guys are wondering at home, we mentioned Glacial Augment. Otherwise, Biscuiteer for laning, and the Gathering Storm. Just
well, he's certainly fighting here. As okay, Ambition is going to get a little bit too far forward. Does have the Galio nearby, but he's getting incredibly low. But here comes KSV, the first roam coming in. Is it going to be the first blood? Not quite. Finally, the first blood goes over to Corki, actually. Now they're getting up to Crown. That's going to be 2 for MVP. Unbelievable, they turned that around.
Yeah, the time for the roam was the right timing, Valdez. It's when the flash was still on cooldown from Crown. The ultimate had to be used, and it was always going to be in pretty suboptimal positioning. Crown's flash being down, got them the bonus kill, so MVP with a bit of innovation on the top side to inspire the fans, and then some play. Level 6 to level 5 is such a big spike. When KSV made the first roam, you were baited into thinking this would be first blood and another MVP blooper. It ends up being an MVP PogChamp moment. as Beyond lives and Crown steps on a trap that he did not see, and a second trap as well. That was definitely some Sideshow Bob Simpson stuff known.
Let's see who they go for. Probably going to be Ruler. They get him just on the edge there. The TP coming in. Is there enough damage to push through, though? Galio rotates first, and Max will go down. Beyond being taunted up here. Now we got a nice little call to Forge God coming in. ADD trying to do something on the Swain. You can see that damage is coming out, and he doesn't lose it. Seeing the power of Swain. Also, Cuvée getting a little bit too far forward as the rest of his team was running away from the Swain. But turning it around, he flashes in with the taunts now, and they're going to get two members. Beyond goes down as well. ADD, he wants to get that damage, but both of them are so low on mana, they can't quite take anyone else out.
MVP definitely seems surprised by the re-engage. Ian was so aggressive, flashing forward for an attempted to kill. The ultimate there did actually reach his Demon Flare on the second half, but only used it for wave clear. Didn't think he'd be able to gap close. Watch the replay here of the team fight. Beyond is the one who has the most time to judge. They try to get onto Ruler to delete him, but the Sejuani ultimate was a hero one from Ambition. Just ulting the Skarner. Skarner just thinking, wasn't able to use his Impale at the start. It looks like Cuvée is going to get them like bowling pins, but we're able to flash defensively. ADD starts off in the Demonic Ascension and then actually gets to Demon Flare, but just uses it to push back the wave. They think the fight is over, but Ian flashes forward, moves forward, is taken out. Nice re-engage from Crown.
Really smart game sense there. A weaker team, a weaker mid laner probably would have just flashed away or just tried to run away, but noticing that
MVP. But AD's recalling, always the chance he shops and tries to get in.
Oh, they're going to engage down here on the bottom side. Max getting a little bit too far forward, trying to just poke, but he is going to get out of there, actually, leashing onto Ambition. But now Skarner in the front line is going to be knocked up. Ruler getting low, though. This Swain doing that damage, flashing forward. He's going to get a kill in the back one. Now Pilot is all alone doing that free damage. A double kill for Ian. And now Cuvée getting too deep in here is going to go down. MVP turning this around, and ADD at full health. This Swain, it's working out.
Leona with the 200 IQ Zenith Blade to get out of it, and they could refocus around ADD, and the amount of zone control as Swain was able to have. No kills for the Swain, but a lot of teamfight impact, and MVP should turn this into a mid lane turret, or at least a lot of control on the map.
I can't believe what we're seeing. Let's take another look at this. You'll see the Zenith Blade. It was incredible.
Max is the most DED dead ever in the front line. It looks like he's going to be completely done. He eats everything, but the Zenith Blade onto the Sejuani, who was trying to delay Skarner. Is Skarner's in the front line. Surely this is a one team fight. You're already kind of blinking and thinking it's over. But nobody dies. Even the Skarner lives. And ADD flashing forward may not get a kill. But Ambition and the rest of KSV can't walk past him with all of his zone control and his full.
It's a real question. You know, the Swain seems pretty good in team fights, but not really holding his own. And it allows Cuvée to push it in and go for the first rotation towards mid. We'll see how this affects later fights.
You do see this game and wonder if after the buffs on 8.4, how does he deal with Sion? Because old Swain against Sion will probably be fine. New Swain, we'll wait and see.
Okay, we are going to have a fight here. Beyond is going to get onto the Xayah here. Isn't going to be enough damage. Featherstorm coming in, but actually it's going to be Skarner that goes down first, but they get Ruler in the backside. Tons of DPS taken away. Now a very low Sejuani is finally going to be taken out. Crown has to flash away. Swain comes in kind of funnily at the end here.
He wants to cast his ultimate, but he can't.
Wants to look really cool, but a nice little fight there for MVP. Definitely a win.
A lot of control for the first part. No Demon Flare value, but no problem. Specifically getting the assassination on Ruler. It's a protect the MVP strategy against MVP, and they get the hook again.
Yeah, just running straight at the Swain. Generally not a good idea. As with the help of Ian.
In the edge cannot be trifled with. So you wonder how long MVP will take to start the objective.
Look at what they got with the trap set up from Caitlyn, too. They've got a decent amount of pick themselves, and certainly denying all the vision and randomly turning onto Baron here as they just have look at the traps and the Swain in the front. It's so hard to get through this.
And Max is so tanky. They don't know that this is so low already. It's gone.
See you later, Baron. Okay, that's going to go down. Nice little play. And now they're looking to get onto Cuvée, who's forced.
But MVP, they walk back in. They have very powerful carries and the damage reduction on both. Doesn't mean they're not running 3 lanes, and mid lane is pushing out. So They're going to try and use some ults to take this turret. I don't think they want to dive.
Yeah, you can see they force Crown to go back, just punching his way away.
Solar Flare has a comically low cooldown late in the game, so one ult, one turret, that's fine for MVP. It's another inner turret down, only one left on the Rift.
Yeah, Pilot on the Caitlyn, certainly another nice pick. You have Corki in the mid lane here, doing some damage in the front. He's gonna flash forward, trying to get onto that Swain. They burst him down. That's what they needed to do. They finally are able to do that. There's gonna be 2 kills and make it 3. KSV finally making a stand against MVP.
For so long, they have been unable to find the Wombo. It may not be onto the carries, but the entire tank line is down. The Swain could never interact in the fight. Even through Merc Treads, the CC bar meant that he could not use Zone Use, he could not use his ultimate. No space control, and KSV want to break the base from those 3 picks.
Never even got a chance to Zone Use in that one. Wasn't a mistake, as you mentioned, was just CC'd the entire time. That is what they have in their composition. So now, finally, KSV finding a foothold in this game, looking for some more turrets and perhaps a Mountain Drake of their own on the back foot.
Breaking the base, difficult to do when the 280 carries are alive and your initiation ultimates are all on cooldown. So the threat from the tanks is much, much lower. The fallback Mountain is not an Elder. Would probably prefer to be able to pick that one up on the backside even without any buffs, but the Mountain's a Mountain. Also delays the time in the game when the Elder spawns. It's going to be a pretty late spawn in 40 minutes and 35 seconds, so unlikely to play too big a factor. Consider that they're pushing up with the Dregs of Baron, Swain in the front line. It felt pretty low percentage they were going to get any real turret damage. They were definitely not going to break the turret, so the positioning there from MVP, highly questionable. They could have taken the last free objective in the top side and there would not have been that level of control.
That's the Corki for you. We're here at 37 minutes.
He's lucky that the E there, the Battle Dance, actually stopped the last auto from registering, otherwise it would have been a 300 health.
Ambition just jumped the wall, but look at this, ADD from behind, the huge flank, and Orin is late. That's gonna be a big wombo combo here. Isn't enough damage. Ruler trying to get away, and in the end he will. ADD just trying to zone everybody out. Flash forward, there's that Swain damage, but it's not quite enough to kill anybody just yet. They get one guy in the front, it's gonna be Crown going down, and eventually Ambition, they make their way through that tank line. 2 kills for MVP.
It doesn't even matter that they don't have burst damage on the back end. ADD zoned so many members that you knew that at the same time as him getting the back line, Ian and Pilot were able to DPS down the front line. It still works, it gets them the Baron. Well executed by MVP as Ruler felt super low at the start of the fight. He does not have the ability to escape and was impaled through all of it. Let's watch the replay to fully understand. Ambition jumps over and MVP say, okay then, well, let's go for this. They roll in, watch Ruler. Remember, he's the one that needs to be able to find safety to auto. That's what all the tanks are for. He's out with no health, and ADD zones 4 people as there's nowhere for Crown to get out, and that's all ADD needs to do. There's no threat on Ian, there's no threat onto Pilot, there's no problem for MVP.
Fantastic combination between Beyond and ADD, just never-ending.
With the blasting one, he didn't go for a voice stuff. He needs a Banshees. He needs more of this off-tankiness. Is once again Ambition.
He just does it again. He tries to go in there. He's going to be locked down, but Max is going to be destroyed by Ruler. Cortez makes it out of there as well. This time Ruler has so much room, but they're going to take out Crown.
They're going to win.
Pilot in the backline is just mowing them down. A triple kill for this Caitlyn, and they're looking for more. The Quadra, he wants the Penta. Can he get it? He's going to snipe him down, but no! It's not the Penta, somehow the most anticlimactic non-Penta. It doesn't matter though, because MVP are gonna take the victory.
They can still get the Penta.
Get it. They're trying to lock him down. Can they
Are they gonna die for him? They're thinking about it.
They're trying. ADD, he's got to go forward. He's got to be the man. There it is. Oh, stop. He gets the Penta.
Penta kill!
Penta kill for Pilot. And the Swain composition wins game 1 against the world champions, MVP. What the hell is going on, guys? I don't even know.
What a game win, and the Penta kill actually happened. He kept baiting, it wasn't enough, and everyone is smiling. You have to love the inventiveness. It seemed like just a pick to go in with 8.3, last match on the pad.